Tom, what's on the agenda today? What do you got?
Oh, I've got 5 screenplays I've written. All of them are completely different. I think it'll cover different categories where people are at in their life, from a magical romance to science fiction to an adventure to a spy movie and to a drama.
So how did this begin? How did this all start?
Start watching movies, which I've always watched movies, and I just didn't really see.
A lot of people watch movies, but they don't write scripts.
Right, but
unless you're in Los Angeles, then everybody writes them.
I know, but I just didn't see. I saw that some of the movies weren't that great, and I thought, I'd like to write something, and I think I could write some good movies because I've got a heck of an imagination. I just started with one. That was the end of it. I thought I'd never do it again, and then I had another idea, and I started doing it again, and another one. I just start growing, and I just found that I just love writing, and that's the thing. I love creating stories.
The Researcher. What's the story on that?
Researcher, it's about Eric Russell and his team of cancer researchers. They work for a company called Microcore in this movie, and they discover a leukemia cure. And the pharmaceutical company that they work for, rather than starting trials, they try to eliminate the cure, and they try to eliminate the researchers rather than lose their corporate profits. So there's a lot of money to be made. So I think that's kind of what drove me to write this movie.
Excellent. Okay, Samantha.
It's a magical romance.
Okay.
It's about a Hollywood actress that falls in love with Santa Barbara doctor, and their careers collide, and it's a life-work balance movie.
The Agent and I.
The Agent and I is about a strong female character, like a female Jack Reacher. She gets assigned to catch a mobster and CEO for espionage.
Sword, what's that all about?
Sword, it's about Ryan Sword Marshall, who's a treasure hunter, and he's a sword master. He gets approached by a multi-billionaire oil tycoon to find his granddaughter that vanished in his yacht in the Bermuda Triangle.
Stranded on Earth.
Stranded on Earth. 4 alien teenagers get caught in a space storm. They crash land on Earth. Now they have to elude the military. They've got to blend in with society, repair the ship, and return home to save their planet.
Tom, not discussing the various films, but just why you decided to sit down and write a script.
I wanted to develop something really cool. I wanted to see something on the screen, and I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to tell a romance. I wanted to tell a science fiction. I wanted to tell how the environment is destroyed on this planet that we live in now. The Researcher, I wanted to tell people about how I think the pharmaceutical companies are milking the heck out of the insurance companies, and how they'd rather see people just give them drugs and not cure them. Sword, I love adventure. I loved Indiana Jones, and I love that kind of movie, so I created Sword. And also The Agent and I loved Lethal Weapon. I like Jack Reacher, so I just, from watching all these movies, I just put these characters together and created something completely different. And I think that's what we all do. I think we all have our own imagination.
I think of people when I write.
Yeah.
I think of people in my life who are interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think you draw from that.
I do.
Yeah, and I think I do too. I draw from different parts because you can't help it. You watch all these movies your whole life, and you just, not that you're plagiarizing anybody, but you come to your own conclusion in your heart, and you put it down on paper.
Yeah.
And then you're hoping that paper turns into something on the screen by some killer producer takes it and says, oh my gosh, I can make this really sail. And I actually saw that on an interview. It was a Steven Spielberg production, and the guy that wrote it said, I never thought this movie would be anything like it is on the screen. But Steven Spielberg took my screenplay and just took it to another world of imagination. And that's what I want somebody to do. I want them to take all these movies that are already full of imagination and just take it beyond what anybody can think.
Okay, how do people reach you?
www.MovieScript1.com. And on the website is a full description, the synopsis for each movie and the log line for each movie. And there's a contact me page on there. Just fill it out, email me, and I will send you a copy of the PDF.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.